Yo, what is poppin' my 420 army? It's your boy Alien 420, and I'm here with a different type of lore video. This one is about the school scenes in Outlast 2, and basically they're how related to me, Liam 420, as a person in real life. So basically, and yes, I'm actually recording this on my new gaming PC that I've had for actually I've had this for about 3 months now, almost 3 months, because as I got for Christmas. So yeah, basically, I'm gonna go through each of the school scenes and like describe how they're related to my life, like I just said, and yeah, we're gonna do these in chronological order, starting with Blake and Jessica. Starting with the scene where Blake and Jessica are in the cafeteria talking with each other. Firstly, the Beauty and the Beast play is similar to my kindergarten through grade 6 years, where they were actually school plays, and that school only had 30 kids total, so everyone had to play a part in the school plays. So, if I mean, for most of you, if you're watching this, and you went to a public school, and there was like, see, because my I was in a private school from kindergarten to grade 6. Even though the school was JK through 8, I just wanted to switch, so I just wanted to point that out. But anyways, the school plays that my school did, at least for the ones that I was in, were Charlie and Chocolate Factory, Alice in Wonderland, Cinderella, and Treasure Island. I still remember most of the parts everybody played, but I'm only gonna say mine. Alice in Wonderland, I played a fucking lobster or sea creatures. And Cinderella, I was one of the town criers. Treasure Island, I played Blind Pew, which originally that role was super small, but then the teachers were like, nah, let's beef up his role. Make him play like the pirates that were part of Long John Silver's crew. So I mean, it was nice. Honestly, I forget who I played in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. So anyway, even though my middle school, which was the school I went to in grade 7 and grade 8, that was well, we had the Oliver play was in grade 7, but I did not do that play because it was a public school, so that was optional. I obviously chose no, or I don't even think they were hosting it, which I might show some if I ever show my school yearbook. I might try to see if I can. I still have my middle school my grade 7 yearbook, so I could technically pull it out in a separate video and flip through it, so I could show you some of that. But you'll see pictures of me and. Yeah, and also Jessica asking Blake liking Lynn is similar to when I hit on girls in high school, and even my middle school girlfriend, which I obviously don't date her anymore. If you would have seen her on the channel if she hadn't dumped me because of stupid, and obviously my ex I did back in between the months of July and November of last year. That one also dumped me over selfish reasons. So there is one thing they have in common. The first one cheated on me with another guy, and the second one was depressed over her aunt going home, which, yes, that's what happened. She was depressed over her aunt going home. For those of you who were finally wondering that story, boom. I probably just dropped a bomb there. But, whatever. It's really the same ending. She's probably thinking, no, I'm not gonna. No, never mind. Either ways, here's us, and I'm actually going to be reading a little. Actually, I kind of like a little story where I actually got into trouble because I was stalked because of a kind of like a stalker story. I don't know. This is basically if Mr. Nightmare ever started doing stories with the from the main antagonist's POV, which it basically go like this. So I was obsessed with this girl who I met in my second year of high school. This was after I started YouTube, and by the way, when I started the channel, I just finished my first year of high school. So, and this story technically does start my third year a bit. So, but during my grade 10 semester, after I had my lunch break, I would hang out closest to where I had class after lunch, and my history class was in room I still remember the room number. It was like really close to the front foyer, so that's why I hung out there. Right after lunch, I would head there. I would eat in like a separate room because I was like a program for like people with disabilities. I would eat in that room, say hi to some friends, and I go to see Willow, which that wasn't actually the girl's name. I'm just using that for the story. So I was kind of just talking with Willow for a few days, and I got her snap. She gave me her Snapchat, and I kind of sent her photos from months before. All of a sudden, she just dropped a bomb on me. Saying she just out of the blue said she was dating some large guy who was around Chris Walker's size, which I don't know. It's probably just me still judging him 7 years later, but yeah, obviously that did not stop me from devoting a plan to win her over by getting an army to kidnap her and get rid of the big guy so she'd be all mine. Which, yes, this was really stupid. I put out a bunch of text messages saying I was going to do this, and I didn't even bother to cover up my tracks, and then when someone finally turned into the authorities and got a restraining order against Willow, and that got me suspended for a few days. And this was the only time I ever got suspended in school, so I'm just going to say with all the girls I flirted with in high school where I got rejected, not to say that if one of those girls actually did start going out, if I actually did start dating one of those girls, they wouldn't end up dumping me because of selfish reasons, right? Because that's very possible too, but you can see how absolutely horrible I was with this. Just absolutely probably just absolutely unforgivable, so they're probably still scarred for life over this, but yeah. And my phone's digging, but yeah, whatever. Anyways, back to the story. Yes, I have my phone next to me. I'm gonna mute it, but even though I knew a few guys who got suspended, but why? Anyways, like, also the next scene, Jessica and Blake staying after school before Father Laudermilk catches them. And he asks, "Why are you guys staying after? What are you guys doing here late?" This is actually kind of reminds me a bit of my high school years too, because, well, for high school, because I would have my wrestling practices, so basically my old high school let out at 2:15 p.m., and then right after that my wrestling practice were about at 2:25 for an hour and 20 minutes. Though sometimes I would hang out in the cafeteria, or even the hub across the hall from there if my practices ended early while I was waiting for either my mom or my dad to come pick me up. I would just send them a text saying I was done, and then yeah. So anyway, like, the hub area was actually really cool. They had these couches that were like super comfortable to sit on, but unfortunately they took them away because people kept writing graffiti on them. And then they had a ping pong table and a foosball table that sometimes if someone wanted to play ping pong or one of those two games, I would use if people were around. Even like during my lunch breaks, because during the semesters where I'd have like either phys ed or power fit after lunch, I would hang out there, or even if I just had a class on the second floor. But yeah, the bathrooms, I don't really get reminded. Don't remind me of any stories aside from the fact that I kind of avoided the middle school and high school when I was in middle school and high school, I avoided the bathrooms there because of how much they get trashed, and even people would vape in them. Oh, here's a funny story from when I was in high school. There was this dude who would start, like, jerking off in there, and sometimes it was literally in the bathroom in the art hall, which was up on the third floor. This was when I was in high school. I'd almost expect them to be there when I head to that hallway, and yeah, I asked, "Hey, is the jerk off dude in there?" It's like I just peek in and sometimes see if he was, but anyways, if you're expecting a story similar to that one South Park episode where Mr. Mackey was trying to find out who crapped in a urinal, the closest thing you're getting to that is back to my my kindergarten through grade 6 days. I forget what grade I was at the time, so basically at the time principal, he lectured us about peeing in the vent, and he basically all he did was he just asked us, "Hey, stop peeing in the vent," and it worked because I don't think there were any more incidents of people peeing in that floor vent anymore. Although there were a few times, there was one instance where I was cleaning up from the because my old elementary school would do like a Christmas performance every year before we went off for winter break, so I think I can't remember if I was in grade 5 or grade 6 at the time. I was in one of those, but we had to put the benches back. We had to put it in the girls' room because the boys' room already had the bench in there. And also in this scene when Blake jumps out the window, it actually reminds me literally of my last day of grade 7. My homeroom teacher actually allowed us to jump out the window. It was kind of funny. So even like the one resource teacher, when he's like, whenever he saw me, he'd just be like, "Liam, how you doing, Liam?" And it's like, psh, I don't know why I liked how I ended up getting used to that, but he walked past he walked past me right after I got in the build after we got back inside, and asked me, "Liam, did you jump out the window, Liam?" And then I responded, "Oh yeah, we all did." That was too funny. I don't know. My teacher had actually planned that for months before, saying we were gonna jump out the window. Okay, I was just checking something. That's why I kind of paused there, because I was just trying to check what actual year Blake's high school or Blake's school was, anyways. The library scene, I don't have any memories of aside from renting out books in both elementary and middle school quite a few times, and I only did it once when I was in high school. I didn't use chat rooms to talk to my friends similar to what Blake and Jessica were using, because back in like 1995 and 1996 they didn't have Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, basically all the social media stuff we have today. So even though my college has Teams, so has like a Teams app I don't really use, so my learning strategists have to email me. But anyway, the blinky monitor scene again I have a school memory for, but basically this one I was in my first year of high school and we were doing a sex ed unit in my phys ed class. During one of the lessons, our teacher was he was in the middle of during the middle of the lesson, he's just going on talking about whatever we were supposed to be learning that day, but one of the students thought it would be funny if he took a paper clip and he stuck it into the damn monitor. It's like, what the fuck, man? And that caused the whole thing to short circuit and it just turned off. I can't remember what happened after that. What happened to that kid? What that kid got up to afterwards? But I think we did resume the lesson, and we did resume the lesson afterwards. I can't remember what happened exactly. I gotta ask someone who knew me at the time, but I haven't really been in touch with people who were with that class for years. But there were all tons of silly stuff that happened in that class. Like one time, we used like a piece of wood that was supposed to resemble a cock, and then like or penis for scientific term, and then a roll of tape that was supposed to be the binder. The roll of tape was supposed to be like the actual vagina that you'd stick the cock into, but people were just like, oops. So my teacher decided, you know what, I'm just gonna make him use a binder instead. So, and then we had like a fake scrotum, which if you don't know, the scrotum is that sac around your nads. We were trying to feel it for like testicle cancer, and one of them actually flew out after he squeezed it too hard. It's like. You can tell that we just did a lot of that stuff was just for shits and giggles, but for also, by the way, for the swimming pool part, my old high school did not have a swimming pool, but one of the high schools I would sometimes have my wrestling tournaments at did, and actually one of my old friends from that school went to that specific school, so that was cool. And she also joined the wrestling team for a few years, but yeah, and also the change rooms at my old high school were also dangerous since people would get their stuff stolen, and ever since I heard that, I was like, yeah, I'm keeping my stuff out of there so I don't like my phone and everything I need for class, so that way. I used to keep my clothes in there, thinking, oh, the thieves wouldn't go for clothes. It's like, they'd be stupid to go for steal like your shirt and pants. Until one day I was proven otherwise. Some cunt ended up stealing my pants, so I walked in the room. It's like I just found my shirt. I left both my shirt and my pants on the bench in the change room. the one day, and then this was when I was in grade 10, so this was like a whole year later. So grade 9 was when I first thought the teacher went that bad, and then grade 10, which is like a year later. So basically, after my pants were stolen, it was in the middle of the winter. So I was asking my friends, "Hey, did you by any chance take a pair of black pants?" And they all said no. And then I had to wear my gym shorts home, and then my mom bought me 2 new pairs like sometime over the next few days. So yeah. Also, I never found out who actually stole my pants that day, and I never got them back either. So yeah. And in elementary, so basically for like the Hangman game that Lynn and Jess played, there's another story. Basically, we had, and when I was in elementary school, from like grade 1 to grade 6, it's like we had a subject called scripture studies, which I'm not sure if I had it in grade 1 and grade 2, but I know for sure I had it in grade 3, grade 4, grade 5, and grade 6. And basically, we talked about Bible stories, and sometimes we were studying for tests, or if we were done early, my teacher would just decide, "Hey, want to play Hangman?" So that way we could fill up the rest of the time. And basically, it was revolved around what unit we were studying. Which, here's a fun fact, if you don't know about your Bible stories. But the Judges chapter of Outlast 2 is actually based around the book of Judges, where the Israelites would have people teach them how to follow the Lord whenever they would not. So that was I know for I think that was a grade 4 unit. It was most likely grade 4, but because the classes where they would alternate every 2 years, because it would be there was a grade 1 2 classroom, then there was grade 3 and 4 in the other, in another classroom, then grades 5 and 6. And then grade 7 and 8. But obviously, after I finished grade 6, I switched to my middle school. So, yeah. And also, when I was in grade 6, there was one unit we had where we talked about the kings of Israel and Judah. I was actually kind of struggling with this for a while when I first started high school, until I went to like a youth group weekend. So, and then, actually, we would go there, like, almost nightly. My sister would go to those, and then she decided she'd bring me for, like, when I was in my second year of high school. I was talking with one of the guys there, and I was like, was that in grade 5 or grade 6 when I learned about the kings? And then he told me, that's when he told me that I was in grade 6, because he remembered that he was in grade 5 at the time, and we were in the same classroom that year. This was one of those, I don't think, well, he joined late, so I don't think I had him in either grade 4 or grade 2. But yeah, that's basically how Hangman. And also, Liam 420 even got the reward for getting basically our last test of the Kings unit. Basically, my teacher told us, basically, if you get at least 90 out of 120, you will get a spot on the plaque. And I thought the last test would be pretty easy, but it was kind of hard, and I barely got on that plaque with a 91. It was like, I'm just so thankful to be on that plaque. If you literally went to that church, you'd see, I'm not sure if they still have that King's plaque, it would literally say Liam Bruce 2013-2014 school year. So yeah. And basically, just like other small miscellaneous stories, basically, I did take a personal life management for like the cafeteria at the school. Only my high school had a cafeteria. Neither my elementary or middle school had one. So I took personal life management and I did some cooking in those classes. Well, in the one I did, but then right when COVID hit, I took the class again, but we didn't do any cooking. So I also did an absolute cooking class, and I was thinking my teacher was an absolute stint, but it's like, yeah, sometimes I just have trouble remembering where some of like the things are. So yeah. Also, when I was in my second year of high school, I did go on the roof terrace to clean it when we were doing the youth weekend like group for like the entire Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So basically, I went to that, and we did all tons of fun activities there. Like when I came home from my horseback, when I came there after my horseback riding lesson, I noticed everyone was up on the roof, and I was only 15 at the time, but it's illegal. See, it's illegal to go on a roof if you're under the age of 18. So, however, we had adult supervision, so I think that would have been fine. But yeah, and also the music room. I had a music class in elementary and middle. I did take music class in elementary and middle school. Elementary, we played various instruments, and middle school, we got to choose which instrument we could play, and I chose the trombone for the 2 years I was there. They also did give you the option to take your instrument home for one night, as long as you could get home safely. Like, sometimes some people would be like, oh, well, the problem is I'm not allowed to take it on my bus home, so that kind of sucked. But, yeah, that's why I didn't really take my instruments home, because And thing is, it was kind of hard to play the trombone, which is why when I got into high school, I did not take a music class. But I think one of my buddies did. There was like a guitar class, or yeah, one of my buddies in high school took a guitar class. So yeah, that's basically that story. And so yeah, that's basically it for this. That's basically all my school stories. I thought this would be a fun little interesting topic to do since I'm going to be done college soon. I figured why not share some of my some interesting stories from when I was in school. So yeah, let me know in the comments like any funny stories you had, when some of your funniest school stories, or basically or if there's anything, like if my story said, like if I had anything similar that happened to me that happened to you. Which also for that youth weekend thing, not only did we clean the roof, we also went to like this trampoline place. That was only my second time going there, but yeah. Okay, so that's basically it for this video, and I'll basically see. Oh, nice. I figure I'll just get this out, take a break from the GTA stuff, which I might kind of slow down on that stuff once I'm done college and then finally start pumping everything out. But enough rambling. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and please like, comment, share stuff, sub, and peace.